Welcome, 239 Uncensored, everything Southwest Florida and beyond. And we have a really cool episode, a really cool podcast. We have the one and only Wayne Hoffman. I mean, there's probably a couple other ones out there, but nobody as big and as famous as Wayne. And Wayne is basically a multi-award-winning performer, recognized as one of the top mentalists in the world. And he's going to be coming to Hertz Arena. And we'll mention this again, March 11th, coming right up at our 7 p.m. 7 p.m. show. Yeah.
Very exciting. So thanks for having me in, man. I'm looking forward to this.
Yeah, this is kind of a neat thing. And I was just telling you earlier that we just did our 100th episode. It just aired yesterday. So you're probably going to be like at 103. We'll get you in, fairly quick, but it's cool. we got to get your get the word out. Yeah. Because from my understanding, you're the guy and really neat. What do you think about the studio?
Well, first of all, this is awesome, man. Like, I do a lot of interviews all over the place, and I'm walking in, I'm like, is this like a multi-mega corporation studio? I mean, you guys, I don't know, everyone watching, you can't see the behind the scenes stuff, but this is like an operation you have in here, man.
Yeah, we have fun with it.
Yeah. You could like run an ABC, NBC, Netflix special in here.
Well, you never know. You never know. And like I said, that, if you get you're connected to Naples, what actually brings you and hooks you to Naples?
Yeah, so I moved. I grew up in Pennsylvania, and then I moved to Hollywood, California for many years, and I lived out there, enjoying fun in the sun out west. And then I actually, what's funny? I just realized this is my 10-year anniversary of living in Southwest Florida.
Wow.
Yeah, it doesn't seem that long, because I travel so much. I'm constantly going from show to show, just city to city. But yeah, I moved here many moons ago, and I stuck around.
Yeah, and when you talk about being on shows, you've done it all. You've done America's Got Talent. I think France has talent, got talent, and then you did Britain's Got Talent.
Oh yeah,
A&E, all kinds of stuff. I watched you on the Ellen DeGeneres show.
Yeah,
I mean that's big time.
Well, no, I mean that was all just my warm up for being here.
Yeah, that's all of it for being here.
Yeah, that was all just the pre-show.
Yeah,
so, but yeah, I always say I'm the most famous person you've never heard of.
Well, but there's. You've been out there. You've done so many things. What is actually a mentalist? What is that?
Yeah, so a lot of people don't know what a mentalist is. It's a word that's really one of those, I don't know how you want to describe it, kind of in the background, mystical words. The TV show, The Mentalist, that was on many years ago, they kind of brought it forward. But a mentalist, in short, is a mind reader. So not in a supernatural sense, but a mentalist is somebody who uses psychology and the human mind for entertainment. So I work with people and I read people's thoughts. I predict what they're going to do. In other words, if you can imagine a psychic who doesn't claim to have supernatural powers, that's what I do. So I can figure out what people are thinking. I can predict the future, things of that nature, ESP, finding hidden objects, fun psychological experiments.
Now, how did you learn this craft and skill? I mean, do you think there was was it all learning, or does it come maybe a little bit with your psyche, right?
So I was on a camping trip in Iowa, and I was struck by lightning. And no, I'm just kidding.
I was like, I'm starting to follow that one.
It's a learned ability. So my story is I grew up in Reading, Pennsylvania, which is an hour outside of Philly. We're on the Monopoly board. That's all we got. The Reading Railroad.
Reading.
Yeah. And I went to a magic shop and studied sleight of hand and illusions between ages maybe 10 and 15, just as a hobby. 15 to 18, I started performing for money. People offered to pay me. And then when I was 18, I studied psychology at a university. And so from that point forward, I was trying to figure out ways I could use psychology to put into my entertainment show. How can I use the mind? What little mind hacks can I learn? So I kept studying these things and did my own self-studies in hypnosis and neurolinguistic programming, hypnotism, probability. And over the years, just built a toolbox of little mind hacks, little things that we as humans don't realize things, little trap doors in the mind. And so I've collected all of these, and now I do a whole show called Mind Candy based around them. So it's a learned ability.
Yeah, no. So it's obviously a craft, I would say, that you have to really constantly, it's I guess it would be like any type of performer. You have to practice, you have to evolve, learn new things, because things are changing all the time. Now, you've toured and you've been throughout the world, right?
Oh yeah.
Are there any like cultures that just don't really take too well to this whole thing? I mean, have you ever like really freaked somebody out?
Yeah, that's funny. I've been to, if the last time I counted, I've been to 70, I think 4 countries.
Wow.
And every place you go has a different view of this. Now here, in North America, it's fun, cool. He's a mind reader. The things that come to my mind right off the bat, when I went to Haiti, different world. Jamaica, different world. When I was in Ghana, where else? Togo, man, oh man, different world. I went to West Africa and went to a suburb of Lomé, which is the capital city of Togo. This little village, it was called Akadesawa, and they had a voodoo market. Now, the history of magic is you can research this, but it goes back to the days of shamanism and the medicine men in early human history. And so these people live the life of voodoo and stuff. Now, I don't practice any voodoo. I'm not. This is just, I went there just out of curiosity.
Sure,
to
learning experience.
And let me tell you what. I went there. And I looked at all the things they sold, and I remember I took a pebble off the ground, a little rock, and I gestured over to one of the kids, and I put it in his hand, and I made him close his hand, and I was acting. I was going, concentrating, and when he opened his hand, it turned into their local money. It turned into a coin.
Oh, well, no.
The village went nuts. And they were grabbing rocks and coming over going, they wanting me to turn all the rocks into money. And so they weren't watching it like a magic trick, like we would watch it and go, oh, nice trick. They believed. And the voodoo priest took me away and he goes, can you give me these powers? He wanted me to magically bestow upon him the ability to be a wizard and manipulate nature. So
did you go over there like a whisper? Hey, listen, I can probably show you this one.
I'll be quite frank. I was out of my element, and I felt like 2 things were going to happen. I'm either going to be killed and sacrificed, or I'm going to become their leader. So I didn't know which way this was going to go, and I'm thinking, how am I going to get out of this? So I told him, and the guy was probably in his 60s, 70s. And I said, well, it's taken me a long time to learn this. I said, it would take you a long time to learn. He said, how long? I said, 40 years, just throwing an arbitrary number. And he goes, oh, too long for me, and so I skated. But anyway, the point is this. Yeah. Around the world, people have a different view of mind reading and magic as a whole, and it's very, very cool. Traveling was one of those gifts that I got in my career that it's really a secret blessing for me. Well, maybe not so secret.
You know what I think would be really cool, and this is a little bit of a confession that probably nobody knows, right? When I was a kid, I was like tried to wish I could do some card tricks, right? Because I think no matter what you do, I remember this one guy used to always come up behind you and pull like money out of your ear, right? So, and you're like, holy shit, that's really cool. But I think it's just a huge icebreaker, right? So, I mean, I'm sure that your friends know what you do for a living, and they probably want, hey, go fuck with those people, and you're like, I'm trying to have a drink. I'm not prepared for this stuff
every day.
Yeah, So I think it's a pretty cool. Obviously, it's a cool thing, and not everybody gets nearly where you're at and make a living out of that profession, but I think it's a great skill.
Yeah, it's. I started when I was a kid because I loved it, and I still love it. I always say I do the shows for free. I perform free. When I hit that stage, I do that for free. The thing I get paid to do is to live in hotels, not see my family as often,
Right.
not have time for myself, being frisked by the TSA every day, going through airports and, luggage and this and that. That's what I get paid to do. The business end and the travel and the actual grind of it. But I love it. So when I'm hanging out with friends, I'm the best wingman in the world.
Oh yeah.
I'm a mind reader.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
it's like one of my buddies is like, hey, that chick over there, she's awesome. I go, you want her number? He's like, yeah, man. So
and you're able to craft into it.
Oh, of course. He leaves with a number. Now, whether she likes him or not, that's up to him.
Yeah, right. You gotta handle that. So yeah, I think it's kind of neat to have that, obviously, that skill. And myself being in law enforcement for a long time and listening to some of your stuff, doing a little research, you have to have the ability to communicate, right? And you tell very good stories. I can already tell, and a lot of that is just, sucking people into listening to what you're saying. Do you get into any hypnotism or any of that stuff?
Yeah. So I've actually, it's being in law enforcement for so long. I actually studied interrogation techniques used by the FBI. I've studied hypnosis, anything involving human psychology, human behavior, getting in people's heads, understanding them. I've studied all of it. Now, I don't do hypnosis as far as, a stage hypnotist.
Like knocking them.
I know how to. I have that skill set, but I leave that as far as the show to the hypnotists, the guys that specialize.
Right.
So I think, studying those types of things helps the core of what I'm doing. It makes me a well-rounded mentalist.
Yeah. Now, let me ask you this question. Do you guys have like groups of professionals that get together and kind of meet and go over different things and new trends and different types of things you do?
Yes, these aren't publicly,
sure.
We're not putting this up on a billboard.
Sure.
But yeah, if you think about this, I can't tell you my secrets. I can't tell I can't just talk to a guy at the bar about what I'm doing. So it's very rare that you have an opportunity to discuss the ins and outs and the inner workings of being a mentalist. So we have to wait until we can convene with each other and say, oh, finally, hey, I'm working on this psychological, technique. What do you think about this? And there are guys that are great thinkers and they'll write books and they'll create content to teach other mentalists. And then there's performers. Some do both, but I find that a lot of guys edge one way or the other. But yeah, we hang out. Imagine a room full of mind readers getting together. We don't even have to talk to each other.
Yeah, you're just like, hey, I know what you're thinking, buddy. Hey, all you do is just say, yeah, I thought the same thing. Yeah, he's like, oh no, that's cool. Yeah, that'd be pretty wild. Be pretty wild. But yeah, so getting together and knowing, and I think the internet now, and there's obviously a lot of positives to social media and YouTube and things like that, but there's also probably a lot of people out there that are trying to bring tricks out and let people know how things are done. It's like telling your 3-year-old kid, yeah, Santa Claus is me.
Right.
what the hell's the reason for that? It's kind of like, it just kind of takes away the funness of it.
Yeah. That's always been a thing, people trying to figure at the end of the day, it's part of the job. People, when you go to a show, whether it's mind reading, hypnosis, illusion, magic, you're wondering, how is that done? The curiosity is what drives it. If I told you I was going to go on a stage and eat a ham sandwich, you'd say, okay, well, I don't get it. Who cares? That's not amazing. And you wouldn't want to see the show. But when you say you're going to do these amazing things and then you see it, yeah, your brain naturally wants to try to figure it out. So it's part of the ecosystem.
Yeah, no, I get it. So tell us a little bit about your virtual show. COVID probably has really changed the way you operate, right? I know for comedians we've had on, they're like doing corporate shows online. Tell us a little bit about that.
Yeah. So live audiences were my main source of entertainment. That's what I would do. I would gather large groups of people. Just yesterday, I did an event in Orlando. It was over 4,000 people live in a room. So we are back. The world's opening up again.
Do you get like a little bit before something like that? Do you like get a little bit freaked out in the bag, or you kind of done it for so long? I guess if you didn't get something nerved up a little bit, it wouldn't be ready.
It changed from nervousness to excitement over the years, which is good. Okay. I still get that rush right before that adrenaline rush, because it used to be, I have no idea what's going to happen. And I got nervous. Like, how is this going to go? Now it's, I know exactly what's going to happen. And I'm excited because these people have no idea what's going on, you know? So, but yeah, oh yeah, anytime you do a big crowd, but the funny thing is the more intimate the audience, often the better the show. You know, if I'm one-on-one with somebody and they know I read minds, that moment we're like, oh my God, he could be reading my mind right now.
Yeah, and you are freaking me out a little bit. I know Diana's like, we're looking at her out.
It's more powerful. But, you know, the biggest crowd I did was 38,000 people at Citizens Bank Park in Philadelphia for the Philadelphia Phillies. And I walk out, they announced me, and I walk out on that field. And let me tell you what, that is overwhelming. A rush like you wouldn't believe. I'm looking around. I'm surrounded by 38,000 people. It's mind-boggling. But yeah, it's exciting, you know, doing crowds like that.
Yeah, and one more time, I just want to throw it out there that Wayne's going to be at Hertz Arena. It's going to be coming up on March 11th, right around the corner. It's going to be at 7 p.m. I think I mentioned a little bit earlier, but that's kind of a neat thing, right? You're going to be, I mean, that to go to Hertz Arena, big place, local.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Let's fill this thing up. Awesome. Let's fill it up.
It's going to be great. You know, and I told him out of the gate, I said, because of what I just told you, you know, the more intimate the audience, the better. I said, I don't really want to try to sell 8,000 tickets,
sure,
you know, because I said, I want to try to keep it to the point where I can look at everybody and look at every single person in the eye and they get that feeling, that vibe. But it's going to be awesome. Yeah. So I'm telling people, you know, if you want to do something, you know, let's face it. I think the exciting part about doing the show at Hertz is locally, you know, Southwest Florida has great entertainment. We're not in LA. We're not in New York where there's trillions of things going on, or Vegas. Vegas is such a place of you're inundated with, it's almost oversaturated with entertainment. But I'm glad to bring something different to Southwest Florida because we have a lot of great music acts and a lot of great children's shows. But you know, it's very rare, I think, anything magic or mind reading comes to town. So it's something different where people, if you're looking for something fun, you can only do the same thing so many times, you know. So it's a good break for people, you know, grab your friends and family and do something different.
I'm definitely going to be there. There's no doubt. I think Diana's going to go as well, and we're going to, you know.
I think I'll be there.
We need to rally it up. We need to rally it up. So, and you are, you know, an author of a best-selling book, Mind Candy. I love that name.
Yeah. Same name
steal
for the
that
show and the name for the book. Yeah, I really took what I did with my career and wrote how I did it in the book. So the book isn't teaching secrets on how to read mind. I teach it's a 4-step process on how to make your dreams and goals into a reality. You know, as a little kid, I wanted to become a magician and a mind reader, and I wanted to travel around the world and be on television. And it sounded like an absolutely absurd goal. You know, you want to read minds and be on TV. Like, who are you? You're just some little kid from Pennsylvania. And everybody thought I was a nut job. Like, okay, little guy, go back in your room and play with your toys. And I told people I'm going to do it. But I learned little tricks, no pun intended, but mind hacks, paradigm shifts, ways of viewing the world that are different, that allowed me to go from being some random kid in the middle of nowhere in Pennsylvania to literally living my dream. So I wrote the book for other people. I didn't write the book so people would buy it and spend money and I would earn money from this. I wrote it because I felt an obligation that I learned this secret, this backdoor kind of trick to life on how to get these amazing things to come into your world. And I wanted other people to know about it. So, you know, I had to put it out there. And yeah.
And one thing to backtrack a little bit. When you were a kid, did you perform for your parents, your family? I mean, how did that work?
Oh yeah.
Because I mean, I used to think I could play guitar too, right? And I used to just drive my parents crazy. Drums, guitar. I've been through every instrument, and they'd be like, "Oh God, I gotta sit and watch Tim do this." I mean, you obviously got to practice with people.
Oh yeah, especially with what I do. You can't exactly, as a mind reader, I can't practice alone. Think about it.
Yeah, no, you can look at yourself in
Right.
the mirror and be like, oh, that
Right.
guy, what the guy's messed up.
Exactly. And I already know what I'm thinking, so
Yeah.
I actually need other people just to practice as far as mentalism is concerned. So yeah, I mean, I could, for my family and friends, I could literally do anything. I could walk in holding my own head in my hands, levitating as I fly by them, and they'd be like, "What's up, Wayne?" They're so jaded. They've seen it all. I've tried every experiment on them.
Right.
But yeah, that never stops.
So when you walk into a room, this is a question. When you walk into a room, do you automatically kind of do a scan and start trying to pick things out from people that you can see right off the get, or not really?
Okay, so a misconception about what I do is that the information just comes to me, or it's I hear voices, or that I just see images or something like that. But that's in TV and movies. What I do is very hard work. It's hard to figure out what someone is thinking. And so just like anybody else, I don't want to work unless I have to, so I don't walk into a room and begin working.
Right. Not everything.
However, with that being said, the caveat to that is some of the stuff, just general observation, I can't get away from. I'm subconsciously watching body language constantly. So I can tell in a group over here, if they're talking and I can't hear what they're saying, I already know the context of what's going on and the dynamics of the relationship and what general thoughts are going through someone's mind. And we've all done this. If you see someone leaning into a conversation, they're interested. If they're turning away and they're leaning back and they're on their cell phone, you already know they're not interested in the conversation. So subconscious thought coming out as movement, subliminal, things happening. And language, nonverbal communication is number one. That's the majority of our communication as humans. So I do that subconsciously, probably at a higher level than most people. But yeah, if I walk into a room and you're there, don't worry. I don't know what you're thinking unless I'm trying.
Right. And you're working on that. So when you were on America's Got Talent, we all kind of know that show, and there's been through several different judges. Who were the judges when you were on there? Do you remember?
Yeah, it was.
I'm sure you do.
Yeah, it was the last year that Howard Stern was a judge.
Oh,
yeah,
yeah.
I got him right before he left. And so it was Mel B, Howie, of course, Howard Stern, and Heidi Klum. Yeah,
nice.
It was cool.
How does that progress? Do you get the opportunity? They search people that are talented, and you kind of go through it, that process, or how does it get to where you kind of go off when you're finished if you don't win?
Yeah. So it's actually the process is a little bit different than what you see on television.
Sure.
So they do open what we call cattle calls, where it's, hey world, come to this convention center in New York or Vegas or Nashville, whatever it is, and tens of thousands of people.
That's got to be crazy.
Oh, it's overwhelming.
You must be like, what the fuck?
Yeah, it's crazy. There's just everything, and you're looking around at all these characters, and it's like, what is going on? And then you have a couple seconds to impress them. It's like go. We have 20 million people to get through, and so you do your best stuff, and so on and so forth. I was fortunate because I did it a little bit reversed. They actually ended up back in, oh my Lord, this is going back to like 2003, 4, 5, 6, I forget. They called me, and early on in AGT history, not many people know this, but they would take really good acts, and when they would end up airing the episode, they would make those acts look not good because it was controversial. They got a bad rap in the early years for that. So a lot of professional entertainers refused to go on the show because they were afraid that they could ruin their career. I think over time they started to learn that that's a bad idea, and we're not going to get acts coming to us unless we kind of change our ways. Now, if you go on and you're an idiot and you do something stupid, they amplify that. But if you're a good act, they'll make you good.
Right.
So in the first few years, they called me every single season and asked me to be on the show, and I said no. And then after so long, AGT became such a powerhouse of a show. I mean, everybody knows America's Got Talent. I mean, I did the
huge creds when you're on
huge,
there.
Yeah. So, when I was on the Ellen DeGeneres show, nobody said a word. I would walk down the street, nobody said anything. However, after I did AGT, I'm in the airport. Oh my God, you're that guy from America's Got Talent. Whoa, okay, wow. And you start to realize what a powerhouse of a show is. But, leading up to that.
Not 239 Uncensored, but close, right?
They're getting there. They'll work their way up.
But
yeah, so I ended up going to them. And, once if they know, if you are on their radar, you can actually bypass the cattle call and go directly to the executive producers. And they already know you're going to be an okay act. At least they don't have to test you. So, and then it's a different process. So you actually audition several times before you audition, quote unquote, for the judges on the show. And yeah, but it's a wild experience, going through it. It's fun.
Yeah. and I'm sure people when you finish that, then that kind of, like I said, gives you that instant elevator cred, right? Or whatever. Just when I say elevator, just like, hey, he's on that America's Got Talent, that instantly gets you, because I know I interview a lot of the comedians and they've been on, and it just gets you in the door sometimes, Yeah. So it's really good. It's neat. Tell me a little bit about, you've got Hoffman Entertainment.
That's right.
Yeah. Fill us in. Do you kind of work with other professionals and entertainers and kind of push that forward?
Like you just said, you interview a lot of comedians, and when you're in the entertainment industry and you're interacting with other acts, who's good, who's not good. And so for the past, let me think here, probably at least 20 years, I've interacted with some of the best and some of the worst entertainers on the planet. And this is worldwide. So a lot of people who were planning events would come to me and say, hey, listen, we're going to have you perform, but we want something else. Do you know any other good acts? I go, yeah, I know all of them. So I started promoting acts and recommending them. And I thought to myself, wait a minute, I have a business here. This is something I'm providing value to the world. So we started Hoffman Entertainment, which is my entertainment agency now, and my own entertainment agency represents me. So we book everything from local talent all the way up to international acts. If you want to have, the Rolling Stones at your event, we can facilitate that and book it for you. So, a lot of people that we work with are corporate clients that want to have some type of entertainment for a national sales meeting or a conference or kickoff to a general session. We do, local events, mid-size events, awards banquets. We supply entertainment for cruise ships. We produce shows for casinos. We do entertainment for colleges and universities. I mean, we cover the gamut, everything from roving atmospheric entertainment all the way up to huge arena shows and everything in between. So I have a team that really spearheads everything. Shout out to Hector, shout out to Tori, Caitlin, everybody, Tony, and they facilitate booking acts. So if you need a comedian, if you need a band, if you need, fire eater, a large stage show, we provide it, and that's live and now virtual.
Great.
That's
great.
It's really cool.
That's really good.
Yeah.
That's really good. I know when you walked in, you had a couple things that you were kind of messing with me a little bit. Some things you wanted to do. I don't know,
and we saved them for the air. I was like, I want to get in your head and figure out what you're thinking now. But So do you want to do one now?
Well, I'm always interested.
Okay,
yeah, of course. I mean,
right.
what you got going?
So let's start from the top. I'll let you decide between two things, and you name the avenue you want to take. Do you want to go random or personal? Name one.
Let's go random.
Okay, so random. Now, actually, in preparing for this podcast interview extravaganza soiree party we had, and I told you I was gonna have, obviously I would like to try to do something with you, and I said before we come on the air, before we came in the studio and did all this, I said I want you to go on the internet, of all the billions of words on the internet, and pick one at random and have it prepared in your mind, and I'll try to get it out. So the question is, yes or no, did you do that, and do you have a word in your mind?
Yes, I did.
Okay.
And I do have a word in my mind.
Okay, now let me ask you this, because this is important for your viewers and listeners here. Did you write down the word on a piece of paper at any time? Did you tell anybody what the word is? Did you text it to anybody? Does anybody other than you know the word?
No.
Okay. And
Nobody.
there's no, you didn't write it on a piece of paper at any time?
No.
Okay, good.
No.
So that's important because I want people to understand that this isn't something you told anyone else or that they could have found on a desk or, you know, there's no way on earth that anyone could know this but you, correct?
That's it.
All right, let's rock and roll. Think of it. Now, I'm going to just write down whatever I get out of your mind, okay? Just look at me. Okay. Did you almost think of a different word when in the very beginning when you were deciding on what word to choose? Did you almost go for another one or no?
I pretty much went for that one word.
You went right in? Okay, because I'm getting 2 letters from you out of your mind. Now, they could be the first letter of 2 different words, or it could be the first 2 letters of the word you're thinking of. Yes or no? Does it start with an R?
No.
Okay, tell me the first letter.
It's O.
Oh, okay. I didn't get an O. Here, do me a favor. Just look at me again. Let me try it. Think of it. A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, L, M, N, O, P, Q, R, S, T, U, V, W, X, Y, Z. Quick question for you. Personal question. Given the choice, would you rather solve a riddle or paint a picture?
Paint a picture.
Okay. That's more of the open-minded, creative side of the brain rather than analytical. Being in law enforcement, I always think a lot of people in that field are very analytical.
The Joe Friday.
Yeah.
Just the facts.
So,
man.
but I'm going to say this. If that's the case, then A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K. Do you feel your fingers moving right now?
Yeah.
Yeah. See, that's subconscious. I'm getting letters, just something like this. All right. I have a word written here. This is where I always get nervous, man, because you could be thinking of one of literal billions of words, right?
Yeah. This is.
I mean,
yeah.
it's so. I have something written here. On the count of 3, I'm going to turn the paper around and show you what I have written. And at the same time, I want you to say the word out loud. So we're revealing both of our things at the same time, and we'll see if they match. Are you ready? 1, 2, 3.
Occasions.
Just like that. Exactly what I had.
That is freaking crazy.
If you're watching this on the camera, that's exactly what it says on this paper. Occasions.
That's crazy.
And that was a random, like that's not meaningful to you in any way. It's something.
No, it's nothing. I mean, you asked me for a larger word, and I picked a larger word.
Yeah,
and, occasions.
I got something else out of your mind too.
That's good.
I have a weird question because when I looked at you, I kept seeing the same thing over and over again. Were you at any point during your time in concentrating, did you think of the state of Maine at all?
Yeah.
You did?
Yeah. Yeah. No, I was thinking about doing that, and then I didn't.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then you went with occasions. Okay.
Yeah,
Because I saw Maine in there. And actually, part of my training as a mentalist as well is to listen. And when people speak, talking about traveling, I listen for regional dialects and accents and stuff like that. Are you from the New England area?
I am. I'm from Maine originally.
Okay, there you go. Yeah, that's what I figured.
Well, I figured when I was thinking Maine, I go, you're gonna probably maybe. I mean, there's no way in hell you're gonna pick that Maine, but you did. It's freaking crazy. I don't know. I got it. You sure this is? We looked it up. I'm sure that's crazy.
Yeah.
This is
too much time.
My
doing
phone,
things
your
I
phone.
wasn't. It's too much time doing things I wasn't supposed to as a child. Really, it's concentrating, not doing my homework.
Yeah, not doing your homework, screwing around upstairs.
Yeah.
Like, okay, how am I going to read people's minds? that is pretty damn amazing.
Yeah,
you got it.
It's
nailed
fun.
it.
We can try another experiment if you want to. It's up to you.
Yeah, I love it.
All right.
Who wouldn't want to try?
I see you have a Florida something. I don't know what.
Yeah, it's a Florida real estate principal practice.
Okay.
Law book. I mean, this freaking thing has got.
I don't know
what
I don't know what it is, but I guess is it like a learning you learn from it, or is it
right when you become a real estate professional and you get your license? This is the book where you learn.
Okay,
it's like a lot of pages.
A study book,
yeah,
or
study
guide.
Like yeah.
All right, you know what?
Right.
There's some other books over here too. Let's have some fun. Are you ready?
Yeah, let's do it. Let's do it.
So. You have the flyer for my show. I want you to slide it anywhere in the middle of this random book. And before I go any further, do you want to keep the spot that you picked, or do you want to change it?
Now keep it.
Keep it. All right.
Yeah.
We're gonna. I'll let you just kind of open it here. You can see the page numbers that you opened up to, that you chose. Just look at them and open your book to the same page numbers, whatever you picked there. Can you see them? All right. Open your book to the same thing, because you're over there. I don't want to touch the book. So just pop it open and don't let me see anything. So hold it like this. Hold it up. Hold it up toward you so I can't see.
You can't see it.
I don't want to see anything. And now don't let me see. I'll look away, as a matter of fact. So you just picked a random page in some book about Florida real estate, which I know nothing about. I want you to look on the left side and the right side. And yes or no, is it all words, or are there any pictures?
There are a couple pictures.
Okay, there are. Good. Let's do that. I want you to look at one of the pictures and stare at it. Any type of image of any kind. And let me know when you're doing that.
Yes, I am doing it now.
All right. Just a general concept of what it is. Now, think of it. Think of what it is. Try to really grasp the concept. Is it something specific, or is it just like an emoji?
No, it's specific.
Okay,
yeah.
Think of it. The vibe that I'm getting, first of all, I feel like, does it have something to do with the outdoors?
Yeah, it sure does.
That's weird, because it's real estate, which is into homes. But I'm seeing something outdoor in your mind, like an outdoor vibe. Okay, this is really what I'm getting is specific enough that it might be actually accurate. Okay, how do I even explain this? So I want you to imagine you're walking to a beach.
Right.
And there's kind of brush, kind of like trees and something that you have to almost avoid. So they build a bridge to go kind of over some type of I don't know, cactuses or some weird stuff. So it's like a little foot bridge in my mind. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
To you?
Yeah, it sure does.
Does that have anything to do with what you're thinking?
Yes.
What do you think?
That's it right there. Yeah. It's a boardwalk that goes over the seagrass onto the beach.
Let me see it.
Yeah. It's there.
Let me see.
Yeah.
Oh wow. Yeah. Wow. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, that's it,
that
right?
Was it.
Yeah. That's it. That's amazing.
Thank you.
I don't know if we can show it on camera, but somewhere here, if you look up there, I don't know.
And it's a tiny little, a little
maybe
picture
camera,
of something. Yeah.
In the picture.
Kind of like a off to the side. Yeah, it's hard to see, but cool.
Yeah, unbelievable. That's amazing.
So that's what I do. And that's part of the show. When people come to my show, I tell everybody in the audience, think of whatever you want. And there's thousands of people. I say literally think about anything. And I start pointing at people. And I'll say, right here in the red shirt, you're thinking of the little poodle you had when you were 7 named Fluffy that got hit by the car. And they lose their mind. As you can imagine, people are freaking out.
Yeah.
And I can tell people, very specific things about, whatever their thoughts are. And, I do this all over the world, different people, different shows every night. No one's no one's paid off. They don't tour with me. It's a one-man show. And so anytime you walk into the theater or arena, you have an opportunity and a chance to have your mind read. It's pretty wild.
Yeah, that's pretty damn amazing. Yeah, that's unbelievable. Wow. Woo.
Yeah.
I like that stuff.
So that's what I
good.
do.
That's good. Yeah. Now, I don't know if you're going to do it, but you had me write down a name of somebody.
Oh, yeah, I forgot that. So I said, I write down the name of a person, fold it up and put it in your pocket. Do you have it in your pocket?
I do have it in my pocket.
Now, just for clarification, I want to point something out. I didn't see it. You didn't hand it to anybody, and nobody. Again, you didn't show anybody. Correct?
We have our lovely producer Diane over there, and she did not get. Did you see any? And she had no idea.
Good. So there's no way anybody that other than you would know. So think of it right now. It's a name. All I know is it's a name of a person. I said think of the name of a person. Ready?
Yeah.
Think of it now.
I just talked to him today. So.
Oh, okay. Cool.
But you don't know that.
Now, just for clarification, was I in the building when you talked to this person?
No.
Okay, good. I wasn't even here.
I was on my way back from the dentist.
Okay, so you were not even in here. You were driving in your own personal vehicle. Yeah. Okay, so then there's definitely no way I couldn't overhear you say their name or anything like that. Because again, I know a lot of the listeners or viewers are probably very skeptical. They'll think he somehow overheard you talking and say the person's name, but that's impossible in this case. Concentrate. Wow. All right. There's a lot going on in your mind. Now, the person you're thinking of, I feel like you almost went through multiple people in your mind leading up to this person. I feel like you thought of some people and you were like, no, that's too obvious. I'm going to go for somebody kind of off the beaten path. I
didn't go with my business partner, Sean McGrail, which I was thinking, but you probably figured that one out.
You're right. Yeah. And I'm glad you didn't go obvious. Do you know two people by the name you're thinking of or no?
I probably do, but
notice
not
his
who
voice went up a few octaves. Well, yeah. So that tells me something already. A B C D E F G H I J K L M N O P Q R S T. This is weird. I'm getting something totally off the cuff. Do you have two people in your life that have birthdays in November?
Yes.
Okay, because I feel like there's multiple people that are important to you that are born in November specifically.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't think it's one of them. I'm getting a name. I'm just going to tell you what I'm getting. I feel like they have two names, the name on their birth certificate and the name people call them, which is slightly different. I'm getting both of them. I'm just going to show you. Yes or no. Are you thinking of somebody by this name? David?
Yep, absolutely. Absolutely. Okay, yeah.
Cool.
I want to make it clear, though. I'm not like thinking of him in that way. I'm just thinking of him as my best friend.
Yeah. Oh, it's your best friend. Okay.
Good friend. Yes. Best friend. Yeah. And Dave's getting married pretty soon. So I figured, I'm like, yeah, I throw him out there. So,
okay.
Yeah.
Well, whoever Dave is, congratulations. And hey, you must be a good friend.
Well, I'm at his wedding, so we'll see how that goes. Yeah.
So you're part of the wedding.
I am.
All right. Don't mess it up.
I know. It's going to be, that's incredible. I mean, I just think it's so neat how you can do that. And then, it kind of makes you think, like, how does he do that? I haven't figured it out yet.
Too much time, like I said.
Well, it's been amazing. It's been good. So what I want to do is I want to tell you, anytime you want to come back, we definitely want to see you in March. That's going to be a big event.
Oh, yeah.
That's going to be on the 11th. Just want to get that right. 7 p.m. Hertz Arena.
Yeah, March 11th, Hertz Arena. And tickets are on.
Yeah, how do I get the ticket? Ticketmaster.
Ticketmaster. Yeah, go to Ticketmaster, and it is family friendly too. I want to point that out because our promo shows crazy stunts that I did on America's Got Talent with dynamite in my mouth, and we light the fuse and crazy. But yeah, it's open to the families as well. It's going to be wild, and man, I'm excited.
Well, Wayne, it's a pleasure to have you in here. It's been great. And anytime you want to come back, we'd love to have you.
I'm here.
We do one little thing. So we always go 239 Uncensored, and we kind of just do a little fist bump in the middle and say we are out. 239 Uncensored. Everything Southwest Florida and beyond. And we are out.